This is Allison from Allykatkreations. How are you? It is downpouring here. You didn't sleep last night. That's okay. Continuing on with the Urantia book. Before I do, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Please help me out. It's free. For real. I had a lot of truth bombing that had to take place today on social medias. And people don't do their research, or they don't really know their history, and that's a shame. No matter what country you live in, you should know your rights. Just common sense. Well, it's not so common anymore. Then there's a lot of sleepy people, whether or not you agree with it, fail to recognize what's going on. So, and again, I'm not on anybody's specific side. I think things are horrible in the world, and they're not getting any better. So things need to change, and the only way they're going to change if we all stand up together and unite. But that can't happen if everybody's still sleeping to what's actually going on. Shut off the black box and stop allowing people that dictate to you how to feel, who to watch, how to conduct your life. It puts you in a perpetual state of fear constantly. I don't watch television anymore. I'm just putting that one out there, guys. I'm not here to discourage anybody. Netflix and chill is fine, but just watch what you're watching. I'm going to start with paper 9. Relation of the infinite spirit to the universe. Strange thing occurred when, in the presence of paradise, the Universal Father and the Eternal Son unite to personalize themselves. Nothing in this eternity situation foreshadows that the conjoint actor would personalize as an unlimited spirituality. I'm already messing up, guys. I'm sorry. Spirituality, coordinate with absolute mind and endowed with unique prerogatives of energy manipulation. His coming into being completes the Father's liberation from the bonds of centralized perfection and from the fetters of personality absolutism. And this liberation is disclosed in the amazing power of the conjoint creator to create beings well adapted to serve as ministering spirits, even to the material creatures of the subsequently evolving universes. The Father is infinite in love and volition. In spiritual thought and purpose, he is the universal upholder. The Son is infinite in wisdom and truth. In spiritual expression and interpretations, he is the universal revealer. Paradise is infinite in potential for force endowment and in capacity for energy dominance. It is the universal stabilizer. The conjoint actor possesses unique prerogatives of synthesis, infinite capacity to coordinate all existing universe energies, all actual universe spirits, and all real universe intellects. The third source and center is the universal unifier of the manifold energies and diverse creations which have appeared in consequence of the divine plan and the eternal purpose of the universal Father. The infinite spirit, the conjoint creator, is a universal and divine minister. The Spirit unceasingly ministers the Son's mercy and the Father's love, even in harmony with the stable, unvarying, and righteous justice of the Paradise Trinity. His influence and personalities are ever near you. They really know and truly understand you. Throughout the universes, the agencies of the conjoint actor ceaselessly manipulate the forces and energies of all space. Like the first source and center, the third is responsive to both the spiritual and the material. The conjoint actor is the revelation of the unity of God, in whom all things consist, things, meanings, and values, energies, minds, and spirits. The infinite spirit pervades all space. He indwells the circle of eternity, and the Spirit, like the Father and the Son, is perfect and changeless, absolute. Attributes of the third source and center. The third source and center is known by many names, all designative of relationship and in recognition of functions. As God the Spirit, he is personally coordinate, divine equal of God and the Son and God the Father. As the infinite spirit, he is an omnipresent spirit influence. As a universal manipulator, he is the ancestor of the power control creatures and the activator of the cosmic forces of space. As a conjoint actor, he is the joint representative and partnership executive of the Father-Son. As the absolute mind, he is the source of the endowment of intellect throughout the universes. As the God of action, he is the apparent ancestor of motion, change, and relationship. Some of the attributes of the third source and center are derived from the Father, some from the Son, while still others are not observed to be actively and personally present in either the Father or the Son, attributes that can hardly be explained except by assuming that the Father-Son partnership, which eternalizes the third source and center, consistently functions in coincidence within the recognition of the eternal fact of the absoluteness of paradise. The conjoint creator embodies the fullness of the combined and infinite concepts of the first and second persons of deity. While you envisage the Father as an original creator and the Son as a spiritual administrator, you should think of the third source and center as a universal coordinator, a minister of unlimited cooperation. The conjoint actor is the correlator of all actual reality. He is the deity repository of the Father's thought and the Son's word, and in action is eternally regardful of the material absoluteness of the central isle. The Paradise Trinity has ordained the universal order of progress, and the province of God is the domain of the conjoint creator and the evolving supreme being. No actual or actualizing reality can escape eventual relationship with the third source and center. The universal Father presides over the realms of the pre-energy, pre-spirit, and personality. The eternal Son dominates the spheres of spiritual activities, and the presence of the Isle of Paradise unifies the domain of physical energy and materializing power. The conjoint actor operates not only as an infinite spirit representing the Son, but also as a universal manipulator of the forces and energies of paradise, thus bringing into existence a universal and absolute mind. The conjoint actor functions throughout the grand universe as a positive and distinct personality, especially in the higher spheres of spiritual values. physical energy relationships, and true mind meetings. He functions specifically whatever and whenever energy and spirit associate and interact. He dominates all reactions with mind, wields great power in the spiritual world, and exerts a mighty influence over energy and matter. At all times, the third source is expressive of the nature of the first source and center. The third source and center perfectly and without qualification shares the omnipresence of the first source and center, sometimes being called the omnipresent spirit. In a particular and very personal manner, the God of mind shares the omnipresence of the universal Father and his eternal Son. The knowledge of the Spirit is profound and complete. The conjoint creator manifests certain phases of the omnipotence of the universal Father, but is actually omnipotent only in the domain of mind. The third person of deity is the intellectual center and the universal administrator of the mind realms. Herein, he is absolute. His sovereignty is unqualified. The conjoint actor seems to be motivated by the father-son partnership, but all his actions appear to recognize a father-paradise relationship. At times, and in certain functions, he seems to compensate for the incompleteness of the development of the experimental deities, God the Supreme and God the Ultimate. And here is an infinite mystery, that the infinite simultaneously revealed this infinity in the Son and as paradise, and then there springs into existence a being equal to God in divinity, relative of the Son's spiritual nature and capable of activating the paradise pattern. Guys, my eyes are blurry, I'm sorry. A being provisionally subordinate in sovereignty, but in many ways apparently the most versatile in action, and such apparent superiority in action is disclosed in an attribute of the third source and center, which is superior even to physical gravity, the universal manifestation of the Isle of Paradise. In addition to this super control of energy and things, physical, the infinite spirit is superbly endowed with those attributes of patience, mercy, love, which are so exquisitely revealed in his spiritual ministry. The spirit is supremely competent to minister love, to overshadow justice with mercy. God the Spirit possesses all the supernal kindness and merciful affliction of the original and eternal Son. The universe of your origin is being forged out between the anvil of justice and the hammer of suffering. I need a postie for that. But those who wield the hammer are the children of mercy, the spirit offspring of the infinite spirit. I gotta tag that, guys. Hang on. The omnipresent spirit. God is a spirit in a threefold sense. He himself is spirit. In his Son, he appears as spirit without qualifications. And the conjoint actor as spirit allied with mind. And in addition to these spiritual realities, we think we discern levels of experiential spirit phenomena, the spirits of the Supreme Being, ultimate deity, and deity absolute. The infinite spirit is just as much as complement of the eternal Son as the Son is a complement of the universal Father. The eternal Son is a spiritualized personalization of the Father. The infinite spirit is a personalized spiritualization of the eternal Son and the universal Father. There are many, I have to move this, guys. I am sorry. I cannot see, or I'm going blind. Could be possible. There are many untrammeled lines of spiritual forces and sources of supermaterial power linking the people of Urantia directly with the deities of paradise. There exists the connection of the thought adjusters direct with the universal Father, the widespread influence of the spiritual gravity urge of the eternal Son, and the spiritual presence of the conjoint creator. There is a difference in function between the spirit of the Son and the spirit of the Spirit. The third person in his spiritual ministry may function as mind plus spirit, or as spirit alone. In addition to these paradise presences, Urantians benefit by the spiritual influences and activities of the local and super universe, with their utmost endless array of loving personalities, who ever lead the true of purpose and the honest of heart upward and inward towards the ideals of divinity and the goal of supreme perfection. The presence of the universal spirit of the eternal Son, we know. We can unmistakably recognize it. The presence of the infinite spirit, the third person of deity, even mortal men may know, for material creatures can actually experience the beneficence of the divine influence, which functions as the Holy Spirit of local universe bestow upon the races of mankind. Human beings can also, in some degree, become conscious of the adjuster, the impersonal presence of the universal Father. These divine spirits, which work for man's uplifting and spiritualization, act in unison and in perfect cooperation. They are as one in spiritual operation of the plans of mortal ascension and perfection attainment. The universal manipulator. The Isle of Paradise is the source and substance of physical gravity, and that should be sufficient to inform you that gravity is one of the most real and eternally dependable things in the whole physical universe of universes. Gravity cannot be modified or annulled except by the forces and energies conjointly sponsored by the Father and the Son, which have been entrusted to and are functionally associated with the person of the third source and center. The infinite spirit possesses a unique and amazing power, anti-gravity. This power is not functionally observable, present in either the Father or the Son. This ability to withstand the pull of material gravity inherent in the third source is revealed in the personal reactions of the conjoint actor to certain phases of universe relationships, and this unique attribute is transmissible to certain of the higher personalities of the infinite spirit. Anti-gravity can annul gravity within a local frame. It does so by the exercise of equal force presence. It operates only with reference to material gravity, and it is not the action of mind. The gravity-resistant phenomenon of a gyroscope is a fair illustration of the effect of anti-gravity, but of no value to illustrate the cause of anti-gravity. Still further does the conjoint actor display powers which can transcend force and neutralize energy. Such powers operate by slowing down energy to the point of materialization and by other techniques unknown to you. think that's like a double dare to get with it. The conjoint creator is not energy, nor the source of energy, nor the destiny of energy. He is a manipulator of energy. The conjoint creator is action, motion, change, modification, coordination, stabilization, equilibrium. The energies subject to the direct or indirect control of paradise are by nature responsive to the acts of the third source and center and his manifold agencies. The universe of universes is permitted by the power control creatures of the third source and center, physical controllers, power directors, power centers, and other representatives of the God of action who have to do with the regulation and stabilization of physical energies. These unique creatures of physical function all possess varying attributes of power control, such as anti-gravity, which they utilize in their efforts to establish the physical equilibrium of the matter and energies of the grand universe. All these material activities of the God of action appear to relate his function to the Isle of Paradise. And indeed, the agencies of power are all regardful of, even dependent on, the absoluteness of the eternal Isle. But the conjoint actor does not act for or in response to paradise. He acts personally for the Father and the Son. Paradise is not a person. The non-personal, impersonal, and otherwise not personal doings of the third source and center are all volitional acts of the conjoint actor himself. They are not reflections, derivations, or repercussions of anything or anybody. Paradise is the pattern of infinity. The God of action is the activator of that pattern. Paradise is the material fulcrum of infinity. The agencies of the third source and center are the levelers of intelligence which motivate the material level and inject spontaneity into the mechanism of the physical creation. I hate when these pages get stuck, FYI. The absolute mind. There is an intellectual nature of the third source and center that is distinct from his physical and spiritual attributes. Such a nature is hardly contractible, but it is associable intellectually through, though not personally. It is distinguishable from the physical attributes and the spiritual character of the third person on mind levels of function. But to the discernment of personalities, this nature never functions independently of physical or spiritual manifestations. The absolute mind is the mind of the third person. It is irrespectable from the personality of God, the Spirit. Mind in functioning beings is not separate from energy or spirit or both. Mind is not inherent in energy. Energy is receptive and responsive to mind. Mind can be superimposed upon energy, but the consciousness responsive to mind. Mind can be superimposed upon energy. Sorry, I keep reading the same thing. But consciousness is not inherent in the purely material level. Mind does not have to be able to pure spirit, for spirit is innately conscious and identifying. Spirit is always intelligent, minded in some way. It may be this mind or that mind. It may be pre-mind or supermind, even spirit mind, but it does the equivalent of thinking and knowing. The insight of spirit transcends, supervenes, and theoretically antedates the consciousness of mind. The conjoint creator is absolute only in the domain of mind, in the realm of universal intelligence. The mind of the third source and center is infinite. It utterly transcends the active and functioning mind circuits of the universe of universes. The mind endowment of 7 super universes is derived from the 7 master spirits. The primary personalities of the conjoint creator, these master spirits, distribute mind to the grand universe. As the cosmic mind and your local universe is pervaded by the Nebadon variant of the Orvonton type of cosmic mind. Infinite mind ignores time. Ultimate mind transcends time. Cosmic mind is conditioned by time. And so with space, the infinite mind is independent of space. But as descent is made from the infinite to the adjoint levels of mind, intellect must increasingly reckon with the fact and limitations of space. Cosmic force responds to mind even as cosmic mind responds to spirit. Spirit is divine purpose, and spirit mind is divine purpose in action. Energy is thing. Mind is meaning. Spirit is value. Even in time and space, mind establishes those relative relationships between energy and spirit, which are suggestive of mutual kinship in eternity. Mind transmutes the values of spirit into the meanings of intellect. Volition has power to bring the meanings of mind to fruit in both the material and spiritual domains. The paradise ascent involves a relative and differential growth in spirit, mind, and energy. The personality is the unifier of these components of experimental individuality. Those are my scribbles. So just putting a tiny pause. I probably need glasses because things are blurring on me. So I do apologize for stopping and looking ridiculous. Yeah. And rereading lines because, again, I cannot afford that. So I'm going to do the best that I can, I promise. The ministry of mind. The third source and center is infinite in mind. If the universe should grow to infinity, still his mind potential would be adequate to endow limitless numbers of creatures with suitable minds and other prerequisites of intelligence. In the domain of created mind, the third person with his coordinate and subordinate associates rules supreme. The realms of creature minds are of exclusive origin in a third source and center. He is the bestower of mind. Even the father fragments find it impossible to indwell the minds of men until the way has been properly prepared for them by the mind action and spiritual function of the infinite spirit. The unique feature of mind is that it can be bestowed upon such a wide range of life. Through his creative and creature associates, the third source and center ministers to all minds on all spheres. He ministers to human and subhuman intellect through the adjuncts of local universe and through the agency of the physical controllers. Ministers even to the lowest non-experiencing entities of the most primitive types of living things, and always is the direction of mind, a ministry of mind, spirit, or mind energy personalities. In other words, first and second density creatures, Morgan cat is second density. We are third moving up to fourth because we're now more self-aware. Third density is being self-aware. Fourth density is love and compassion and evolving in a social complex. Since the third person of deity is the source of mind, it is quite natural of the evolutionary will creatures find it easier to form comprehensible concepts of the infinite spirit that they do of either the eternal Son or the universal Father. The reality of the conjoint creator is disclosed imperfectly in the very existence of human mind. The conjoint creator is the ancestor of the cosmic mind, and the mind of man is an individualized circuit, an impersonal portion of that cosmic mind as it is bestowed in a local universe by a creative daughter of the third source and center. Because the person is the source of mind, do not presume to reckon that all phenomena of mind are divine. Human intellect is rooted in the material origin of the animal races. Universe intelligence is no more a true revelation of God, who is mind, than in the physical nature a true revelation of the beauty and harmony of paradise. Perfection is in nature, but nature is not perfect. The conjoint creator is the source of mind, but mind is not the conjoint creator. Mind on Urantia is a compromise between the essence of thought, perfection, and the evolving mentality of your immature human nature. The plan for your intellectual evolution is indeed one of sublime perfection, but you are far short of that divine goal as you function in the tabernacles of the flesh. Mind is truly a divine origin, and it does have a divine destiny, but your mortal minds are not yet of divine dignity. Too often, all too often, you mar your minds by insincerity and scar them with unrighteousness. You subject them to animal fear and distort them by useless anxiety. Therefore, through the source of mind is divine. Mind as you know it on your world of ascension can hardly become the object of great admiration, much less of admiration or worship. The contemplation of the immature and inactive human intellect should lead only to reactions of humility. Even Morgan popped her head up on that one. I concur with that. The mind gravity circuit. The third source and center, the universal intelligence, is personally conscious of every mind, every intellect in all creation, and he maintains a personal and perfect contact with all these physical, morontial, and spiritual creatures of mind endowment in the far-flung universes. All these activities of mind are grasped in the absolute mind gravity circuit, which focalizes in the third source and center, and is a part of the personal consciousness of the infinite spirit. Much as the Father draws all personality to himself, and as the Son attracts all spiritual reality, so does the conjoint actor exercise a drawing power on all minds. He unquantifiably dominates and controls the universal mind circuit. All true and genuine intellectual values, all divine thoughts and perfect ideas are unerring drawn into the absolute circuit of mind. Mind gravity can operate independently of material and spiritual gravity, but whatever and whenever the latter two imping, mind gravity always functions. When all three are associated personally, gravity may embrace the material creature, physical or morontial, finite or abstinent. But irrespective of this, the endowment of mind, even in impersonal beings, qualifies them to think and endows them with consciousness despite the total absence of personality. Selfhood, a personality, dignity, human or divine, immortal or potentially immortal, does not, however, originate in either spirit, mind, or matter. It is the bestowal of the universal Father. Neither is the interaction of spirit, mind, and material gravity the Father, the universal Father. Wait. Pause. Ah! Let me read that again. It is the bestowal of the universal Father. Neither is the interaction of spirit, mind, and material gravity a prerequisite to the appearance of personality gravity. The Father circuit may embrace a mind material being who is unresponsive to spirit gravity, or it may embrace a mind material being who is unresponsive to spirit gravity, or it may include a mind spirit being who is unresponsive to material gravity. The operation of personality gravity is always a volition act of the universal Father. While mind is energy associated in purely material beings and spirit associated in pure spiritual personalities, innumerable orders of personality, including the human, possesses minds that are associated with both energy and spirit. The spirit aspects of creature mind unfailingly respond to the spirit gravity pull of the eternal sun. The material features respond to the gravity urge of the material universe. Cosmic mind, when not associated with either energy or spirit, is subject to the gravity demands of neither material nor spiritual circuits. Pure mind is subject only to the universal gravity grasp of the conjoint actor. Pure mind is close of kin to infinite mind, and infinite mind, the theoretical coordinate of the absolute of spirit and energy, is apparently a law in itself. The greater the spirit energy divergence, the greater the observable function of mind. The lesser the diversity of energy and spirit, the lesser the observable function of mind. Apparently, the maximum function of the cosmic mind is in time universes of space. Here, mind seems to function in a mid-zone between energy and spirit, but this is not true of the higher levels of mind. On paradise, energy and spirit are essentially one. The mind gravity circuit is dependable. It emanates from the third person of deity on paradise, but not all that observable function of mind is predictable. Throughout all known creation, there parallels the circuit of mind, some little understood presence with whose function is not predictable. We believe that this unpredictability is partly attributed to the function of the universal absolute. When this function is, we do not know what actuates it, we can only conjure concerning its relation to creatures. We can only speculate. Certain phases of the unpredictability of finite mind may be due to the incompleteness of the supreme being, and there is a vast zone of activities wherein the conjoint actor and the universal absolute may possibly be tangent. There is much about mind that is unknown, but of this we are sure. The infinite spirit is the perfect expression of the mind of the creator to all creatures. The supreme being is the evolving expression of the minds of creatures to their creator. Whoa. Whoa. Universe reflectivity. The conjoint actor is able to coordinate all levels of universe actuality in such a manner as to make possible the simultaneous recognition of the mental, the material, and the spiritual. This is the phenomenon of the universe reflectivity, that unique and inexplicable power to see, hear, sense, and know all things as they transpire throughout a super universe, and to focalize by reflectivity all this information and knowledge at any desired point. The action of reflectivity is shown in perfection on each of the headquarters worlds of the 7 super universes. It is also operative throughout all sectors of the super universes and within the boundaries of the local universes. Reflectivity finally focalizes on paradise. The phenomenon of reflectivity, as it is disclosed on the super universe headquarters worlds in the amazing performances of the reflective personalities, their station represents the most complex interassociation of all phases of existence, sorry guys, to be found in all creation. Lines of spirit can be traced back to the sun's physical energy to paradise and mind to the third source. But in the extraordinary phenomenon of universe reflectivity, there is a unique and exceptional unification of all three, so associated as to enable the universe rulers to know about remote conditions instantaneously, simultaneously with their occurrences. Entanglement theory. Much of the technique of reflectivity we comprehend, but there are many phases which truly baffle us. We know that the conjoint actor is the universe center of the mind circuit, that he is the ancestor of the cosmic mind, and that cosmic mind operates under the dominance of the absolute mind gravity of the third source and center, quantum entanglement. We know further that the circuits of the cosmic mind influence the intellectual levels of all known existence. They contain the universal space reports, and just as certainly they focus in the 7 master spirits and converge in the third source and center. Quantum entanglement. The relationship between the finite cosmic mind and the divine absolute mind appears to be evolving in the experimental mind of the Supreme. We are taught that in the dawn of time, this experimental mind was bestowed upon the Supreme by the infinite spirit. And we conjecture that certain features of the phenomenon of reflectivity can be accounted for only by postulating the activity of the Supreme Mind. If the Supreme is not concerned in reflectivity, we are at a loss to explain the intricate transactions and unerring operations of this consciousness of the cosmos. Reflectivity appears to be omniscience within the limits of the experimental finite, and may represent the emergence of the present consciousness of the Supreme Being. If this assumption is true, then utilization of reflectivity in any of its phases is equivalent to partial contact with the consciousness of the Supreme. Pause. The cogs are going in my mind. Okay, not only do I feel that that's speaking about quantum entanglement, it's also String theory. If Supreme Being and all the administrators underneath have instantaneous thoughts in mind and projects them out quantumly through strings in the air that we can't see, but it's there, and it's for our mind to upload it and absolve it. I always said when learning about the Norse and the Norns, past, present, future, they're three women who spin the web of fate. They weave it. String theory. It doesn't necessarily mean that literally stringing fate. They're putting the thoughts out there, and for those to receive that intellectual entanglement of source. And I want to note that that's how I feel I have spirit communication, that I'm able to connect with other densities, is because I can pick up on that frequency vibration. I could pick up on that string and get instantaneously what I need to know through my mind. And then it filters through my mouth. So is science. And they said it, that the science might be outdated, but this correlates with quantum entanglement and string theory. Just saying. Just something to put your mind to. Write in the comments if that is something that relates, that makes sense, doesn't make sense. Like, we have invisible cords that link us through our crown chakra up to our higher selves, and then our higher selves is linked up into the administration, the thought adjusters, and everybody up there. Just saying. Personalities of the infinite spirit. The infinite spirit possesses full power to transmit many of his powers and prerogatives to his coordinate and subordinate personalities and agencies. The first deity creating act of the infinite spirit, functioning apart from the Trinity, but in some unrevealed association with the Father and the Son. Personalized in the existence of the seven master spirits of paradise, the distributors of the infinite spirit is to the universes. There is no direct representative of the third source and center on the headquarters of a super universe. Each of these seven creations is dependent on one of the master spirits of paradise, who acts through the seven reflective spirits situated at the capital of the super universe. The next and continuing creative act of the infinite spirit is disclosed from time to time. In the production of the creative spirits, every time the universal Father and the eternal Son become parent to a creator Son, the infinite spirit becomes ancestor to a local universe. Creative spirit, who becomes the close associate of the creator Son in all subsequent universe experience. Just as it is necessary to distinguish between the eternal Son and the creator sons, so it is necessary to differentiate between the infinite spirit and the creative spirits, the local universe coordinates of the creator sons. What the infinite spirit is to the total creation, a creative spirit is to a local universe. The third source and center is represented in the grand universe by a vast array of ministering spirits, messengers, teachers, adjusters, helpers, and advisors, together with supervisors of certain circuits of physical, urantial, and spiritual nature. Not all of these beings are personalities in the strict meaning of the term. Personality of the finite creature variety is characterized by subjective self-consciousness, objective response to the Father's personality circuit. And I would call that my spirit team. There are creator personalities and creature personalities, and in addition to these two fundamental types, there are personalities of the third source and center, beings who are personal to the infinite spirit, but who are not unqualifiedly personal to creature beings. These third source personalities are not a part of the Father's personality circuit. First source personality and third source personality are mutually contractible. All personality is contractible. The Father bestows personality by his personal free will. Why he does so, we can only conjecture. How he does so, one do not know. Neither do we know why the third source bestows non-Father personality, but this the infinite spirit does in his own belief on his own behalf, in creative conjunction with the eternal Son in numerous ways unknown to you. The infinite spirit can also act for the Father in the bestowal of the first source personality. There are numerous types of third source personalities. The infinite spirit bestows third source personality upon numerous groups who are not included in the Father's personality circuit, such as certain of the power directors. Likewise, does the infinite spirit treat as personalities numerous groups of beings, such as the creative spirits, who are in a class by themselves in their relations to encircuited creatures of the Father. Both first source and third source personalities are endowed with all the more than man associates with the concept of personality. They have minds embracing memory, reason, judgment, creative imagination, idea, association, decision, choice, and numerous additional powers of intellect wholly unknown to mortals. With few exceptions, the orders revealed to you possess form and distinct individuality. They are real beings. Spirit guides. A majority of them are visible to orders of spiritual existence. Spirit guides. Ascended masters. Sorry. You might not believe in that, but that's exactly what that's describing, in my opinion. Even you will be able to see your spiritual associates of the lower orders as soon as you are delivered from the limited vision of your present material eyes and have been endowed with a Urantia form with its enlarged sensitivity to the reality of spiritual things. I just said it. Spirit guides, ascended masters, your beloved loved ones that passed on after they heal and do some work with the associates up there. The functional family of the third source and center, as it is revealed in these narratives, falls into three great groups. 1, the Supreme Spirits, a group of composite origin that embraces, among others, the following orders. 1, the 7 Master Spirits of Paradise. 2, the reflective spirits of the universes, super universes. 3, the creative spirits of the local universes. 2, The power directors, a group of control creatures and agencies that function throughout all organized space. 3. The personalities of the infinite spirit. This designation does not necessarily imply that these beings are third source personalities, though some of them are unique as will creatures. They are usually grouped in 3 majority classifications. The higher personalities of the infinite spirit, the messenger host of space, the ministering spirits of time. These groups serve on paradise in the central or residential universe in the super universes, and they embrace order that function in the local universes, even to the constellations, systems, and planets. The spirit personalities of the vast family of the divine and infinite spirit are forever dedicated to the service of the ministry of the love of God and the mercy of the Son to all the intelligent creatures of the evolutionary worlds of time and space. These spirit beings constitute the living ladder whereby mortal men climb from chaos to glory. And that, my friends, concludes paper 9. The infinite spirit of the universe. Spirit guides, mind, quantum entanglement. I like my squiggles. So I hope you enjoyed that. I am very apologetic to my blurry vision, which I could see clearly now, but I had to lower my lights a little bit. I'm losing my place because I can't see. Hopefully with some sleep and meditation, which I did a lot of today, fixes that problem. I want to send each and every one of you love and light. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you have it within you to help me out. Please do so. Helping is a like or a love donation, whatever you feel that you can afford would be amazing. Thanks to one of the people I interviewed named Paul, I can continue doing this work for another month. But I need help. So if anybody can help, that is so much appreciated. From the bottom of my heart, check the news out because you'll see that I'm not lying about my circumstances, because they're allowing athletes now to forego mandates, but that they drop the mandates, but then they still continue for everybody else because now they're fighting about why I'm not back at work and why I'm not being hired back. Mind you, I still have not gotten paid with what I'm owed. That's New York crazy for you. Fun times. And I'm sending my prayers out to the family that lost a child in an elementary school in the gym. And I don't buy what the news put out there. Just saying, and not taking away from anything, but I really know it happened. It's going to happen more en masse. So please get your children checked up at the doctor, at a respectable one that will check heart, lung, and brain functions, and do a panel of the liver and kidneys. Just an overall wellness checkup. Make sure things are going right. Okay. Sending each and every one of you love and light again, wherever you are. I'll see you on the next one. Have a good night, guys. Good morning or good afternoon. Bye.